Thanks for joining today's snapshot for Thursday, June 18th. We don't know if it will rain or not on Sunday at 10 o'clock for our outdoor worship and Holy Communion. But in case it's questionable, you might want to check by calling the church number, or you can call me on my cell, 262-909-2990. If we get rained out, we will distribute Holy Communion at 11. Well, we're going to distribute it at 11 for those who can't make the service. So you can get it one way or another, and I hope you will do that. Today, I want to talk about an article I read in the paper 2 days ago in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. It looks like a cut and dried case. A 25-year-old employee at a very popular grocery store food market in Shorewood was fired for buying alcohol for underage fellow employees, $16 worth of alcohol. Sounds cut and dried. Until the article goes on to say that the person who did the purchasing was a 4-year employee who had special needs. And she thought that the people she was buying the alcohol for were above her and could affect her employment. Well, after a few days, she felt bad about doing this, and on her own, having integrity, went to her manager and said, "I did this." The manager asked her to write it up and was embarrassed when she realized that the young woman was unable to write. But she reported it verbally, and it went up the chain. And a few days after that, guess what happened? The woman, as I said, was fired. So how do you handle this ethically? How should the store, the management of the store, of the corporation, how should they have handled this situation? Is it a case of situational ethics? Situational ethics are cases in which you might do something that you normally would not do or should not do for the sake of a larger good. Let's say, for example, your grandchild has a problem with anger and wants to buy a gun and take it out on somebody. And you know about this, and you know that your grandchild is saving up money to purchase that gun, and you see your grandchild's paycheck, and you take it and take the money. That's called situational ethics, and you can debate those issues for a long time, really, in each case. This is not so much a case of situational ethics as it is a perfect example of Jesus' call for higher righteousness in the Gospel of Matthew, which we talked about last Friday in a snapshot. Jesus is saying, especially in the Sermon on the Mount and in other teachings, you have heard it said of old, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not return evil for evil, but love your enemies. You have heard it said of old, do not murder. But I say to you, do not even be angry with people who bother you. Well, in this situation, I happen to know that this woman who's 25 with special needs is a survivor of a Romanian orphanage. You can't really call them orphanages. Do you remember 25, 30 years ago, they were described to all of us and they sounded more like children torture chambers. And this child was adopted by a wonderful couple. They happened to play in the Milwaukee Symphony. I met them once after a concert. He grew up in Muskegon and went to the same high school my dad went to, so I sort of connected with him. They adopted this young woman, young child with special needs, and now she exercised integrity. I think it's time for the corporation to exercise integrity and say, we realize in this situation, we can't just say, you have to fire somebody who does something illegal. But I say to you, turn the other cheek, welcome her back into the fold, and treat her as Jesus would treat the children. Because he said, suffer the little children to come unto me, for to such is given the kingdom of God. Let's close with these wonderful words from a beautiful hymn to a Welsh tune. Go, my children, with my blessing, never alone. Waking, sleeping, I am with you, you are my own. In my love's baptismal river, I have made you mine forever. Go, my children, with my blessing, you are my own. God bless you today.